Loosey-goosey, guys. Loosey-goosey. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Platinum Podcast, where we talk about all things gaming, all things PlayStation, and all things trophies. I'm your host, Lewis, also known as PlatinumBro on the interweb. I am joined by my glorious, handsome as ever co-host, Joel, also known as GuyFarruski. How are you today, Joel?
I'm feeling old.
Old?
I'm feeling old.
Why is that?
I found some new white hairs, and it's getting to me. It's getting to me.
Plus, you can barely walk. You did sort of limp onto the chair before we started, and I mean that was the main sign of your old age. But
it looked like a limp. I was crawling. I just made it look like I was limping to not look so bad.
you need to stop staying up so late playing dominoes. That is the problem. You need to go to bed at 10 o'clock. Stop, put the dominoes down, and go to bed.
And it's an addiction. It's beyond trophy hunting at this point.
It's next level addiction.
Yeah.
So we have a third party member today, and that is Elvis, who has a YouTube channel, and he goes by the name of Zdeye. How you doing, my friend?
I'm all right. It's a wonderful morning. Hopefully it is for you guys as well. And
it's glorious in the Northland of England.
well, I can't relate. I'm sorry. I live in Spain, so I'm lucky.
Where it's always summer, and always hot and always nice. What about you, Joel? What about Jersey today?
I don't know. I don't open the curtains much. So
That's true.
it's just darkness is my domain.
Yeah, fair. So, Zdeye, you've got a YouTube channel, and I would describe it, and you've got to have a YouTube channel and talk about games, because that's why you're on the podcast, but
Indeed.
I would describe it as you've got a bit of a mixture of sort of game retrospectives and gaming news. How would you describe your channel to the uninitiated?
Well, as you said, right, because I feel like compared to the other people, there's nothing really out of the ordinary that I would say, right? Because it's more of the same. Now, I'm not trying to find an originality because this is my hobby. It's not like my full-time job. And so, of course, that's not exactly selling my channel because of this. I'm not looking to say, I want to make this into my full job. I'm not, because I feel like at the end of the day, all of us, right, will get burned out of something. If you're passionate about something and you do for a long time and you continue doing it, you may get burned out of it for, whenever that time comes. But the thing is with me, I want to take this as a hobby and I want to continue it and I enjoy doing it. And so that's what truly matters in my opinion. And of course, what's the best part about it? You're pretty much your own boss.
That is very true. That is very true. So a YouTube hobbyist is how you self-class, which I think we all are at this point as well. I think for a lot of people, YouTube is definitely a hobby. You're I don't know about you, Joel, but I just feel like I've always got something to say, and I just feel like rather than just talk to myself, I just wanted to talk to a camera so people could hear my ramblings.
I just want to make money.
Oh,
I just want to be a millionaire, famous.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all right.
Domino's is not cheap, okay?
It's not.
Not.
I'm building it up. I'm going to introduce it to the channel at some point, teaching people how to play dominoes the proper way, the original way, back in the 30s where I was born. And,
with etiquette. True etiquette. Exactly. So, yeah, not only that. So, this podcast, it's not just about gaming. It's not just about YouTubers. It's about trophy hunting. It's about PlayStation. It's about us who enjoy playing games, but not only just playing games. We're a very specific niche of people. We like to finish games. And you are definitely a Platinum Trophy Hunter as well, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
So, how would you describe yourself as a trophy hunter? What goes through your mind? Because I know you've platinumed a few games. Do you platinum every game? Is there a certain type of criteria that a game needs to fill for you to finish it all the way?
Yeah, definitely there is. Because, my criteria, as you said, I think that I would rather be going for more very good games, and especially the games I really enjoy. And if there are games that, for example, I'm not going to call the game out for in this case, but if there's a game I don't particularly like or it's just not for me, I'll play the game, right? I'll finish the story, but I won't be bothered going with a platinum trophy because obviously that'll take it depends, of course, 50 to 100 hours, if not even more in some of the cases. And as an example for me, right, I'm very actually kind of proud of this platinum trophy. I got a platinum trophy for the Grand Theft Auto 5.
Damn.
Yeah, that's right. So it's one of the harder considered trophies, of platinum trophies, I should say, because remember, it's not just a single player that you need to be chasing after the trophies. It's also multiplayer. And it's funny, it took me 8 years to get a platinum.
Dedication.
Exactly. No, it's not like I've been playing the game for 8 straight years and nothing else.
He's got a question.
I have a question.
What's
Is
that?
this PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4?
Oh, yeah. I was just about to talk about that as well. PlayStation 3, I started playing the game and I was really going for the platinum trophies, and also including Grand Theft Auto 5. But then, remember, I fell from the game, then I came back, and then PlayStation 4 was out by then already. And so I started continuing from the PlayStation 4. So I have a different list for Grand Theft Auto 5. So yes, I got the PlayStation 4 version of Platinum.
Right.
So, what about Grand Theft Auto 4? Because I know you've just done a video on your channel, which is very good, Zdeye, I have to say. A very detailed, retrospective video about why GTA 4 is so good. And I think the way you talk about it in detail, you really put the argument forward as to how important that game actually is for the development of the games we play now, and how it definitely was the pinnacle or the turning point for Rockstar, going from making great games to making like stellar 10 out of 10 games.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about the Platinum Trophy for that one?
Okay, I'm embarrassed. Just saying. Yeah, I didn't get it because it's not one trophy that I don't have. There's quite a few other trophies because I've been playing so much multiplayer of Grand Theft Auto 4, and there's a specific trophy that you need to get 10-star level, and that is insanely just insane amount of grind that you need to do. It's just too much. Like, for example, if you be a Call of Duty player, you need to get like a prestige rank, whatever, like level 1000 or something. Yeah, I think they did this in World War II game, Call of Duty World War II. Okay, so in this case, no, unfortunately, I don't have that platinum trophy. In fact, I've got a disc. I bought it right here of Grand Theft Auto 4, the episodes from Liberty City. It's the ones that comes with all the DLCs, right? And it's just sitting there right now. PlayStation 3 copy. And I don't even have a PlayStation 3 because I was really seriously considering getting a PlayStation 3 just for that game alone and going for a platinum trophy. So I don't know.
I mean,
you should do it.
I've got a PlayStation 3, and I only bought my PlayStation 3 so I could play old Spider-Man games. So I feel like I only did it for that, and it definitely was worth doing. And now it's just taunting you, Zdeye. It's literally on the corner looking at you. Gay Tony's eyes are just staring at you like, play me.
Yeah. Is it still obtainable? Can you still get it? Can you still get the platinum?
Yes, I believe it. Yes, I believe it is obtainable. Yes, the multiplayer still works, and I do know there are actually people still playing it too.
You should definitely do it. Definitely do it, because you're going to get to a point where it's unobtainable, and then you're going to regret it because you thought, I've got it there. I should have played it, and I didn't, and now I can't get it at all. You should do it. You should also when you do get a PS3, you should also get GTA 5, and we can both play on it, because I'm grinding for GTA 5.
Jules,
PS3.
Jules' superhero alter ego is called Mr. Hindsight, and he loves telling people things they should do before they regret it. Yeah, so he's telling you now, from personal experience, his superhero powers are telling you that you will regret not being able to platinum GTA 4.
Yeah.
Wow. And what about you? Do you recommend it?
Oh, yeah.
I loved GTA 4.
Yeah, 100%.
But I just think... No, go on.
I was just saying, it was like you said in the video, it was what created sort of the foundations for 5. I don't think GTA 5 would have been as good as it was if it didn't have GTA 4 to lift it up so high, and also do some of the things wrong so that GTA 5 didn't do the same mistakes.
Yeah, no, it makes sense completely.
Constantly,
at least
you
to me,
play bowling.
I think there's so many games that wouldn't be the way they are now if it wasn't for GTA 4. GTA 4, it was like, like you said in your video, one of the fastest selling games of all time. And I think that really put a statement out there saying that this type of game model is really going to work. And we had loads of copies of games, and even things like Assassin's Creed and stuff, that open world, the GTA 5, before when it came out, there wasn't that many open world games other than GTA games. It sort of showed what could be. However, on the trophy side, I just think they make the trophy lists by Rockstar just too hard. I think they just make too much grind, and they're not necessarily hard. I mean, yes, the online grind can be difficult. There's always a few fidgety trophies, but like, for example, Red Dead 2 isn't particularly hard. It's challenging, but it's just that time-consuming grind, and I just think for me, it's a bit too much. That's my issue with them.
It can get annoying.
Yeah,
I think the trophies can get annoying because you get frustrated, and Red Dead 2 especially. There's a lot of room for error in a lot of the trophies. Like when you're studying the animals, you have to wait until like the whole bar goes around, and obviously with animals like birds and stuff, once they're out of your certain range, it doesn't it doesn't capture them anymore. So you could be like this bit away from like completing the study, and then they'll get a bit too far and it'll cancel it out. So I mean the grind is definitely a big factor with Rockstar games. They're not necessarily hard, like you said.
That's true. It's
just the amount of time you put into them makes it hard, I think. It's commitment.
So we'll move on slightly. So,
okay,
Zdeye, I think you've pretty much said there that your hardest platinum trophy you've ever earned is GTA 5, which is an impressive platinum trophy, don't get me wrong. And I'm going to put you on the spot, but what would you say your favourite game you've platinumed is?
Oh, I think it's the very same game that you recently got. Take a wild guess.
Bloodborne.
You got it.
I was thinking, what good games have I actually played recently?
I was actually thinking Remnant.
Oh, Remnant from the Ashes is so good.
I was thinking
I got
Remnant.
that platinum as well, actually.
Don't get me started on Remnant. I can talk for like hours on end. Maybe in the next section of what we've been playing, I can talk about that. But yeah, Bloodborne is a great game. I was watching somebody play it recently. There's been a video trending of this 8-year-old kid who apparently beat Bloodborne, and I don't know if I believe it.
8-year-old?
8-year-old kid apparently beat Bloodborne, and if he did, my god, that kid is impressive. But I just find it hard to believe that an 8-year-old would have that much skill and that much understanding of where to go. I mean, yeah, like it's quite a confusing game, like in terms of the layout of the land and like knowing where you need to go in certain places. I find it hard to believe that some 8-year-old kid could figure it out. But if it did, damn, that's me being limited by my mind.
That's impressive.
How long did he take though?
I have no idea. I just saw it on Twitter.
Did it take 8 years? No, it could have taken 8 years. It could have taken 8 years. It came out in 2015. It took 6.
Yeah, it took him.
When he played it since he was 2. Yeah.
He was giving it like as soon as he could walk, he was given the controller and just playing Bloodborne. Okay, what we'll do on that. One more question, Elvis, before we move on to what games we've been playing. Have you ever played a game just for a platinum trophy?
I hate to admit it, but yes.
Oh,
the face of shame.
My life is just one face of shame, one big face of shame. So,
redeem yourself.
It's not even one. It wasn't even one. Multiple. Yeah, quite a few, in fact. I hate myself.
Come on, let's hear it.
You know, those are typical games like My Name is Mario, for example, right? So like slide games also. There's some
that's a dirty
sliding
game,
novels too.
That's filth.
That is filth. It is disgusting. I need to go to the shower now. God.
As I often say, bleach is the most thorough way to clean.
Yeah, make sure you drink that too.
Yeah, well, only shot it. Too much is a bit much. You don't want to be a bleach addict. So
yeah,
exactly. So as I will quickly say, as we'll not talk about this too much because obviously I made an entire video on it, but I have decided that I played too many of those terrible games, Elvis, and I'm going to move on, and I've taken a step back. I haven't played a terrible dirty game in like 2 weeks now, and I'm going to just play amazing games, and I'm loving life. And on that can move us on to our games we've been playing. So in this section, for you guys and for the viewers who may be new, we like to spend a bit of time talking about the games we've actually been playing this week. Games we've enjoyed, games we haven't enjoyed. So on that, Zdeye, as you are our guest, what games have you been playing recently?
Well, since the release of Returnal on the PlayStation 5 exclusively, and on top of that, yeah, I've gotten a chance of, well, it's not a chance really, but yeah, I've been playing Returnal. The game itself is actually pretty good. I think so as well, because like the amount of polish, like the housemark of the developers of the game, they're actually fantastic at what they do. If you have experienced Resogun, it's like an early game on the PlayStation 4. It's somewhat of a similarities that you'll find. Now, I'm talking about specifically with the effects and the gunplay and stuff like that. But again, we are talking about the difference of a third person, perspective, and there's a lot more to it, of course, in Returnal. And I've been playing that anyway, and I've been definitely enjoying it. And but there's one little thing I gotta mention. I don't think it's particularly be worth the full 80 euros. Like that's just too much. Like for this sort of game, like it's about 3 to 4 hours length of story.
Oh,
now, no. But the thing is, if you don't die in the game at all, you can finish the game in 3 to 4 hours. But if you die once, that increases every hour, if not even more. So the game hopes that you die, so you'll see different things. afterwards, because everything is like environment changes, enemies changes, and you have to go through to get to the boss again. It's a roguelike game, if you guys know it.
Yeah. Returnal actually really flew under my radar, if I'm being honest. I got a text off one of my friends, one of my nerdy gamer friends, and they were saying, are you going to get Returnal? Have you seen it? And I was like, I haven't really seen much about it. I just didn't really get much hype about it. And then I watched it, and I've seen a few reviews, and I think it actually looks really up my alley. And for somebody who's just come off playing Remnant from the Ashes, which is, again, like a roguelike, randomly generated levels, it does look, sounds pretty good. It does look right up my alley. It looks difficult, but doable.
Actually, not exactly, because Remnant is more Souls-like. That's a little bit of difference. Yeah. I mean, in Returnal, how can I say this? It's easy just to understand. For example, there are no checkpoints at all. That's it. Just consider that. Okay. You have to go through the whole game without dying ever.
So you can't save your game.
Oh my God. I have a whole lot of topic about that too, man. Like, seriously, you cannot save the game. You cannot. If you turn off the console, you're going to the very beginning.
Oh, that's not ideal.
The game crashes, you start from the very beginning. It happened to me twice.
Do you know why that'll be? I imagine because in Bloodborne and stuff, for example, when you get to say you were going to face a big boss and you could not be bothered to do the trek back to the boss again, you could quit out. It would take an instant save. You could back up your save, and if you died, you could just reload it. I suppose it stops people being able to do that in Returnal. So when you close the app, boom, you cannot, because that means you could in theory just get up to a boss, make a backup save, and then reload it every time, and that way. But it's not possible. So
taking away the saves altogether, though, they could at least like give you a block. You know, like the boss area, like, I don't know, like 15, 20 steps before you get to the boss area, you can't save around that area.
Agreed.
I think not save at all, like throughout the whole game. That's crazy. That's mental.
Savage, some would say.
But there's another thing as well. Every time you die, like I said, you restart, right? But basically, if you go through whole areas again, you have to regrind everything. Like, you get your health packs, and you do not replenish your health at all. Seriously. So there is some certainty as a degree that you can replenish your health. You can pick up as the consumables all around the map, and you get like a little portion of your health. And there's some areas like a sort of called store, right, in the places, and you can actually get the full amount of health back. But you want to actually keep holding on to those so you can actually face the boss, and when you're low on health, you can replenish it. Just once. So this makes the game even harder than it should be. But there's another thing. I'm not too sure if this is going to come. Maybe when this podcast does come on YouTube and published, I should say, it may be already be fixed. But I did hear that Housemarque, the developers, are trying to get the fix out about having a checkpoint. Now, I'm not sure how much is true, because so far as of this moment, it was not confirmed. But hopefully it will be something about this, like, because I don't want to do a whole thing all over again if my console crashes. You know what I mean?
Not just that, like, people have lives. You know, imagine if you're playing the game, and then, I don't know, like, your kid starts having, like, I don't know, like throwing up or something, or, you know, your dog starts barking and you have to go to the door or something. Like, you cannot leave the game, or you'll have to start from scratch again, or, you know, you have to go out to go shopping or something. You're gonna leave your console on for hours.
Yeah, I'm just thinking,
ridiculous.
If it's like a 4-hour game and it's gonna take you 4 hours solid to finish it, that means you've got to have 4 hours of your time free.
Yeah.
And not many people actually have that much time free straight.
It's true. It's just as well. You can actually, the recommendation, I should say, was actually just to put your console to sleep mode.
That's not good for the console either.
Yeah, plus also the PlayStation 5, I found that it is very unreliant. Unfortunately, it's like the Xbox Series X. Just to clarify, this is irrelevant because it's an exclusive. But that is like, it's got like an amazing save state where you can like pick up, like, it can save like where you're playing like 3 or 4 games at once. But the PlayStation 5, it's kind of like they don't have that yet. Or they didn't have it, I think they're trying to do it now. But I just don't find it that reliable. I find that half the time I upload it, the game just closes and restarts. So it's not really going to work, is it?
That's not just that. You've mentioned, Zdeye, that there's been 2 crashes that you've had at least.
Yeah.
If they're going to give you a game that does not let you save, it is unacceptable for the game to crash in any way, shape, or form.
I agree.
That is ridiculous. I'm not getting that game. It was on my list.
I am still interested. I'm not saying like the game's got to really take my interest to justify me spending full price. So I haven't paid full price on a game this year yet. Other than I bought Miles Morales for like, but not even then. I think it was only about £45 instead of £70. So on that, anyway, the question that I would like to know, is how hard do you think it is? Is it harder than Bloodborne?
I'll compare to wait. You making a comparison between Bloodborne and
but how hard do you think it is? Do you think it's as hard as Bloodborne or easier or?
Oh well, that's a hard question to answer because Bloodborne, comparing that with the length of the game and this, you can get this done really quick if you know what you're doing, right? Because like the game is sort of like randomized, procedurally generated, as people like to call it, and I don't think it's that procedurally generated. It's just the rooms get moved around, but you have to get to them a little bit differently. That's all I found in the difference anyway. But no, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, obviously, in my opinion anyway. Different enemies, actually looks fantastic as well with the effects too, like how they look. It's awesome in that way. Okay, but the difficulty. If you go for a platinum trophy, that's like maybe 9 out of 10.
Wow, that's tough.
Because there are some things that you need to do, like collectibles, and you cannot follow a guide. You pretty much cannot follow a guide because collectibles are also random. They're all over the place. You don't know where they're going to be, so you can't really use a guide either.
I'm out.
Yeah, that's definitely a no for me.
I'm out.
The game that has a story through 3 to 4 hours is like 100 hours for a platinum.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
damn.
I totally get what you mean about game like procedurally generated games not being like only to a limit, because Remnant from the Ashes is an example of. I played that game so much that I actually memorized the generated levels, because there's only like, say, every world only has like 5 or 6 potential regenerations or like map designs. So by the time you play through them 30 times, you kind of know where all of them are. But in theory, if it only has like say 10 to 20 map designs, and maybe you could memorize them and find the collectibles, but also you definitely couldn't follow a guide. So interesting discussion though. What about you, Joe? What have you been playing this week, my friend?
I played 2 games this week. The first, GTA 5 on the PS3, because obviously backlog clearing.
Nice.
I don't want to talk too much about that. I've not played it a lot actually. Like half the time, I forgot how long it takes for a game to actually install on the PS3. It literally hours.
Hours. Oh yeah.
Especially GTA. Like it had like 22 things to download and install, and I was like, "What is this? What is this?"
I think it took me like 2 hours to download Kick-Ass 2, which was like 3 gigs, and I was like, 3 gigs? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. It was fun going back to it. Like it's good God, like the frames, like playing golf. I was playing golf with it, and the frames like went like to 5 frames.
5
like,
frames
the ball
per
was
second.
rolling. It was horrible. And the other game is Unravel 2, because a few months ago, me and my wife, we started playing it like as a co-op thing. But she doesn't want to play with me anymore. She says I get too competitive. I get too
into it,
aggressive.
Yeah,
jump
I get too bossy. You need to jump. Why have you died? We need to do this time trial. We need to do the platinum. So I only got the trophy with her, which is like to play co-op, and then I'll probably do the rest on my own.
During lockdown, I played Overcooked 2 and Overcooked 1 with my partner, and she's never played video games before, and she got pretty good. I'm not going to say she wasn't that good. Towards the end, she was getting really good, but I'm just terrible to play competitive co-op with, because I was losing my fuse. And I remember reading that Overcooked and Overcooked 2 is like the game to have an argument with your partner with, because it's so fast paced. It's like you'd be going for like 5-6 minutes straight, and then one person just makes a mistake and it's just all over. And I just remember one day she just got up and went, "You're being too mean," and just walked out. I can't remember what I said, but she's like, "Nah, I'm not doing this anymore." And I was just like, right, by myself then. She came back. Yeah. I apologise when she came back, because I definitely was out of line, but I can totally relate to your story. Yeah, so you're playing Unravel 2 with 2 controllers by yourself now?
No, you don't need 2 controllers. You only need the 2 controllers like for 1 trophy, which is like I think it's like complete a level, which we managed to complete the first level, which took us like 50 minutes because she kept dying in the same areas, and then there's this thing where you've got like your R2 button is to like attach your string,
Okay.
And then the L2 button is to like pull. And like whenever I was jumping, she used to touch the L2 button, so I wouldn't jump far enough because she used to pull me back, and it was
Rookie.
like the
amateur.
Yeah.
Not good. Okay, I've been playing a few games. I'll say what I've been playing. So, as part of this cleanse of playing only good games, it's a game I want to play for a long time, which is Diablo 3. And so me and a couple of my friends are going to play it. We're going to play it 3-player. It's 1 to 4 player. It's like an over-the-top like RPG dungeon crawler game for those who don't know. It's pretty famous, to be fair. And I was getting pretty... Sorry?
Hardcore.
Yeah. And I was getting pretty ready to play it, and then like, right, we're going to get it on the chat. Yeah. Boom, boom, getting ready. Got in, made my wizard character. My friend made himself like a female like huntress, and then my other friend was like, "Oh, I haven't downloaded it." We were like, "Right." And he's like, "Oh, it's 30 gigs. It's going to take us 4 hours to download." And we were like, "Right." So I guess we're not playing that then. So we ended up playing Remnant for about 3 hours instead, which is still a great game. And that's testament to the game, because when I earn a platinum trophy for a game, I normally delete it from my hard drive. And I didn't delete Remnant, and I ended up playing it for another 3-4 hours, just messing about playing it because of how much I love it. Great game. For those who haven't watched it, I've made a review. If you're watching this and you haven't watched my review, I'm not going to sing its praises too much because I've just done that endlessly. But the next game I've been playing is Star Wars Republic Commando, which is a game from 2005 which came out only for the Xbox, and it is you play as one of 4 clone commandos from the Clone Wars. And it's actually pretty darn good. So it's a remaster, it's like just HD, but you basically... It's kind of like Halo, but Star Wars, and it's pretty awesome, I have to say. It's really short, it's only like 10 hours long, but it's a pretty darn good game with some belter quality Star Wars tracks. If you like Star Wars, you know that when you hear a Star Wars song, Star Wars theme music come into a video game, it is just stellar. And that's what made Fallen Knight so good as well.
I've not played any of those games.
Yeah. Just so different people, Joel. I don't know why we even have a podcast together.
Why do we have a podcast together?
I don't know. I don't know.
Man bun.
To have different perspectives. That's why he's in. That's why he's here.
That's true. That is very, very true. To be fair, we do rub off on each other though, because like I have just started watching, like, consuming endless amounts of anime because of Joel. Before this podcast, I never would have watched any new anime, and now I've watched like 170 episodes of Naruto.
Oh,
that's funny. Like
I've done the same thing, dude.
With you, it's anime, and I'm very proud of you for releasing yourself from the easy game net. And like for me, I think is the completion. Like I would never, ever a few months ago go back to like games I've already played. Like I used to, if I played a game and I didn't platinum it, I used to just leave it behind and
in the platinum trophy graveyard. But now you're bringing them out.
I'm trying to redeem. I'm trying to redeem myself from them.
You know what? Actually, talking about an anime, I got a question for you guys. What was the most recent, and perhaps even let's go further? What is the recent platinum that you've got? That's an anime game.
I platinumed Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm like 2 weeks ago.
Oh my god!
It's actually
I played that too, but I didn't platinum.
It's not a good game. It's actually not a good game. But it's a really basic fighter with some cool Naruto themes in, like the ninjutsu and like all the jutsus and stuff are all pretty cool. But it's not a great game. If you didn't know anything about Naruto, you wouldn't enjoy it. I don't think. I think you just find it too simple, and like the stories, like even they miss over so much of the story as well. I was expecting a lot more. Is it Zabuza, Joel?
Yeah,
he's not in it. Like what's that about? He's like the best villain.
To give you like a light at the end of the tunnel, because I know you're going to do all of them. From 2 onwards, the games are so much better, and they include like cutscenes from the anime. You do like quick time events, like God of War, the old God of Wars. You do like quick time events with most of the bosses.
Yeah,
it's such a big step up from the first game. The first game I think was just really experimental. And then from the second one onwards, it's amazing.
I enjoyed it. Like I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. I'm saying because I'm such a new Naruto fan that for me it just cemented my memory of the series. I only watched the series once, so I got to like just to replay the big moments of it, and it was so fresh in my mind. So I enjoyed my time with it a lot of the 20 hours I played of it. But I was just thinking playing it, thinking I don't think somebody who wasn't a Naruto fan would enjoy this.
That's true.
I wouldn't have thought so. No,
yeah, I agree with you because like I played it because I am a very big fan of Naruto anime, I especially love the fighting with Madara. Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, no spoilers! No spoilers!
Like what? Who?
Yeah, like Lewis hasn't caught up to that yet.
I shouldn't have said it in Naruto Shippuden.
I've not Shippuden yet. So
Zdeye, when you want to talk Naruto, you just call me on Discord. We could go for hours.
I'm halfway through the second film. So I watch it on Funimation, and Funimation's got it basically in chronological order. So that it basically you watch 100 episodes, you watch the movie, couple episodes, like episode 160. Then I'm on the movie now. And I'm making my way through it. Joel's told me I could just leave it now because after episode 135, it's all filler. But it's really good, honestly. Like Joel, I would encourage you to go back and at least watch the films because the second film's got loads of like the sand ninjas in, and they get a bit of time getting fleshed out. You see a lot more of Gaara's powers, which I think is brilliant. I'm talking about rubbish. If you haven't watched Naruto, you don't know what's going on. But you should watch them, Joel. I recommend the movies.
Also, by the way, I've seen the movies too. They're all of them. Like I really liked them as well. Like it's really enjoyable to watch it anyway. But anyway, I just wanted to get in the question I had. Remember, I asked about the anime games that you've played, and so you mentioned you played Naruto Storm. Right, it was Naruto Storm, right?
Yeah.
Or am I mixing it up? That's right. So the game that I wanted to get at is actually that I played the most recent one. It was Code Vein. It's a Dark Souls style of an anime game, and I got a platinum trophy for that. I love that game, man. I hope they make a sequel to it, but I kind of doubt that they'll go. Hopefully that they will make it.
What's it about for the viewers and people who may not know really about it at all?
It's Dark Souls anime.
It's about vampires.
Okay.
Vampires. Dark Souls anime.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good, to be fair.
It was okay. I didn't find it amazing. This is like two completely different opinions. I think maybe I didn't enjoy it so much because I just got off like the massive the Dark Souls all three games. So I did all three games, Dark Souls games.
Did you platinum them?
Yeah, one after the other.
Nice.
And then I went to Code Vein, and I just found it a bit underwhelming because I think it's hard to reach the Dark Souls level. It's very, very hard. But it was okay. It was okay.
Does it tell a story? Does it tell an anime story, or is it like Dark Souls in the sense of where it's like no story, figure it out yourself?
No, yeah, definitely story.
So it's a story.
Yeah, more an anime. Yeah.
So, did you like the story, Joel? You just didn't think it led up to the heights of Dark Souls.
The story was decent. It was the gameplay. Like the enemies were too spongy, I think.
Okay.
They're way too spongy. You'd hit some enemies and like they just carry it. They just keep attacking. Like it doesn't matter. You hit like 4 times, they just still slash you, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Come on, bro. The healing in that game is a joke. Like if your health bar is this big, you have like a limited amount of healing. You can get like 12 at the most, but you have this much health. Or say you have this much. This is your health bar. You go down to here. You heal once, and that's how much you get.
Okay, I don't know if you've been playing the same game as I. You have been using a wrong consumable then, because there's different varieties of consumables that you can actually replenish all your health at once.
Oh, I'm hardcore.
No, Joel doesn't remember. I got going for a platinum trophy. Obviously, you will see a lot more than actually just simply playing the game. And by the way, regarding the Dark Souls games that you mentioned, like I've got every single like Dark Souls games platinum. That's including Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Code Vein, Neo 2, remastered ones also. The Surge 2. Yeah, I'm insane.
Big fan. You're insane.
I'm insane. Yeah, and I'm still planning to go for more.
What about Devil May Cry 5 though?
I don't know. I can't really get into that sort of a game. Actually, I don't know because I didn't really play it yet.
You should.
Have you not played that at all this week, Joel?
No, I did not play Demon Souls. Oh God, Demon Souls. I got that platinum too. Damn.
Nice.
Okay. Devil May Cry. That's it. That's the one. I keep forgetting it. Typical, isn't it? And no, anyway,
it's just such a forgettable franchise. Clearly.
Yeah, very, very.
No, I love Devil May Cry.
No. Devil. I love the story, man. I love the story in Devil May Cry. It's so good. I seriously love them all. Like even the one DMC one, the rebooted one.
I like DMC.
I like the DMC story too, and the gameplay looks awesome too, in my opinion. But yeah, I need to play it for me to actually tell you if I like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's hard.
Well,
Anyway,
anyway.
I've taken an abstinence from Devil May Cry
Oh.
5 for now, for mental health state reasons.
The Platinum Trophy Zdeye is disgustingly hard.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I've seen the guys about that. It's ridiculous how many times you have to replay it on different versions of difficulties. Damn.
It's insane. On that, though, we'll move on to our next section, which is going to be our Get to Know the Guest section. So, for those who are new to the podcast, this is how it works.
Timer.
Me and Joel will take turns, and we will ask Zdeye for 5 minutes, very short, brief questions, such as, do you like this? What do you prefer? Blah, blah, blah. He will then answer them as fast as possible, and we will try and keep it as rapid as possible, and we can all decide if we like our guest or not, and we get to know him a little bit better. Do you have any questions before we begin? No? You good? Okay. Should I go first, Joel?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can go first. I'll start the timer.
Let's go.
Now.
Mortal Kombat, Tekken, or Street Fighter? Which do you prefer?
Oh god, Street Fighter, because it's the one that I remember, the recent one anyway.
Hadouken. Godzilla or King Kong?
Godzilla. Oh, definitely.
Monkey. Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
PS3 or PS4?
Both, but I think I would lean towards PS4 more.
Nintendo Switch or Nintendo GameCube?
Switch, definitely Switch.
Pokemon or Digimon?
Neither. Don't like them. Not really into it, I should say. Can't say I don't like them.
RPG or a linear story?
Oh, that's hard. Oh god, if you tell me game.
No, it's the genre.
Oh, that's hard. That really depends on the game. Oh god. Okay, I'm just gonna say RPG. I guess because it's longer.
Okay. Now another big question. Favorite game series?
That's easy. Grand Theft Auto.
Okay, fair play. Favorite superhero?
Spider-Man.
Nice. Favorite game developer?
Oh god, Santa Monica Studios. Oh,
Yeah.
The God of War developers.
Santa Monica Studios.
Santa Monica. That's right.
Pizza or burger?
I like both, but I think I'll go toward pizza more. Yeah.
What was your first ever platinum trophy?
Modern Warfare 2. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Lost Where I Am, the classic. Uncharted or The Last of Us?
Okay, let's exclude The Last of Us Part 2. Then I would choose The Last of Us.
Okay. South Park or Family Guy?
Not into them.
That's
Neither
fair.
of them.
Tobey Maguire or Tom Holland?
Toby.
Tugboat Toby.
No, Tom Holland's good too, though.
He is.
But I prefer Toby.
Favorite film of all time?
Oh, that's hard. Oh my god.
It is hard. It's really hard.
I would not be able to tell you now, dude. It's just not coming up to my mind. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to skip.
That's a pass. Okay. Devil May Cry or Resident Evil?
I never really played Devil May Cry, so Resident Evil.
Name a game that you think everybody should play at least once.
Death Stranding.
Oh, interesting. Pineapple on a pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
I agree. Crash Bandicoot or Spyro?
I played more Spyro than the Crash. So Spyro.
Winter or summer?
Winter.
FIFA or Pro Evolution Soccer?
FIFA.
Favorite console of all time?
PS5.
Ooh, damn. Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Favorite fast food?
Kebab.
Goku or Vegeta?
Pass.
Fine, in that case, Naruto or Sasuke?
Naruto. Oh, no. Sasuke. Definitely Sasuke.
Best PS4 exclusive?
Oh, God of War. Or Death Stranding 2. I love Death Stranding. No, God of War. 2018 one.
Favorite PlayStation 3 game?
Grand Theft Auto 4.
I thought you were going to say
was
that.
easy. That was easy.
Favorite PS2 game?
I never got into gaming that time on the PlayStation 2 anyway.
Okay. EA or Ubisoft?
Ubisoft, definitely.
Yeah. Todd. First person shooter or RPG?
Third person shooter, RPG.
Favorite mascot console character?
I'm just gonna say Kratos, maybe. Are you talking about console as a?
Yeah, mascot. Characters
Yeah.
that are famous characters for a console.
Yeah, Kratos. I'm just gonna go with that.
Dragon Age or Mass Effect?
Never got into Dragon Age, so Mass Effect.
Last question: do you prefer single player or multiplayer?
Single player.
Bang on! There we go. 5 seconds to spare.
Ah.
Bravo.
Ah,
Well done.
alrighty.
I think I know you better already, Elvis. Excellent.
Hey,
Yeah, so you went the PS2 game. Every time I think of PS2 now, I just think Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
Wow.
Every time I just think of playing as Aragorn or Legolas, just
yeah.
fighting in Minas Tirith and the West Gate, and just having the best
Oh, yeah.
time of my life, and how I would love that game to be remastered.
Yes.
Okay, we're now going to switch roles, Elvis. So you get your little breather, you get a little breath, and now Jules going to rapid fire you with some more questions.
Cool. Let's do it.
I'm sure you've already heard my nickname on the podcast. Go on, Lewis, say it. You know you want to say it.
It's the fastest tongue in the West.
Boom. Alrighty.
Let's do it.
Ready?
All right,
Okay.
3, 2, 1,
So
go.
dramatic.
Favorite anime?
Naruto.
Haha. Marmite, yes or no?
I actually don't know. It might be slipping my mind, so I just say pass. Just pass it.
You'll just say no. It's safer that way.
No.
Skyrim or Fallout?
Fallout 4, because that's the one I played.
Christmas or birthday?
I like Christmas.
Name a game you would platinum again.
Every other Dark Souls games, all of them.
Even 2.
Okay.
Yeah, even 2, definitely 2.
They're
Blimey,
grindy, man.
this guy's insane.
That's yeah. Favorite super villain?
I want to say anti-hero, but like Deadpool. But villain, I'll go with maybe Thanos because this is more recent, so people know it.
Okay. Easy game or hard game?
Hard game of Dark Souls, dude. So of course, hard game.
Yeah. My man. Favorite band?
Music band or
Yeah, music band.
I don't really. I'm gonna have to pass, my man. I
He
think
hates
over
music.
No, I love music, but it's just that I can't. It
Beethoven.
doesn't come to my mind, at least not quick enough. But anyway, let's pass.
PSP or PS Vita?
PSP.
Yeah, man.
Ellie or Aloy?
Really? Ellie, come on.
Oh, I'd love to see Aloy like spear Ellie at some point.
Ellie
Anyway.
or plain blank character? I should probably rename that to that question.
Favorite alcoholic drink?
Yeah, just beer. Just go beer.
Beer. Which beer?
Ooh, okay. What's that called?
see.
Heineken.
Heineken, that's
yeah.
a good choice.
Oh,
Good choice.
actually, Corona is really good too.
I definitely
I like
prefer Corona, I would say.
Not nowadays. Platinum trophy you're most proud of. You already answered this one, but
Yeah, we really know the answer. Grand Theft Auto 5.
I thought you were going to say my name is Mayo or Slide.
Yeah, right.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
I love Star Trek movies. So in movies, I'll go Star Trek, but there are more games that I'm familiar with Star Wars. How's that?
Okay. Favorite comedy TV show?
Are you kidding me, dude? Pass. I'm not gonna think of anything like that now.
Okay, let me narrow it down. Comedy. I don't know. I'm gonna pass it now. Name a game you want a sequel for. I'll come back to that one.
Sequel. Grand Theft Auto 6, maybe? No, God of War 2,
Never
but we already
happening.
know about that. Death Stranding 2, how's that?
Mm.
That would be interesting,
Okay.
at least to me.
Bloodborne or Dark Souls?
Oh, you
Dark
got
Souls. Dark Souls 3.
Okay.
It's my first Dark Souls ever.
Okay. Favorite game genre?
Third person RPG. Yeah, that's PlayStation
Persona?
exclusive style.
Yeah. Persona or Final Fantasy?
I'm more familiar with Final Fantasy, so Final Fantasy.
Sci-fi or fantasy?
I like both, but I'll go with fantasy. I'll go with fantasy. I like The Witcher 3 especially.
Oh.
What a game.
Yeah, indeed. I got a
Name
platinum
a
on
game.
that too.
Name a game you often revisit.
I used to revisit Destiny 2 and Destiny 1. Now I don't have anything like that.
Nothing.
Before it was Grand Theft Auto 5. Now it's nothing. I don't have an answer, I guess.
Okay, now we're going to go to like the tongue's going to get faster now because we're running out of time. New Kratos or old Kratos?
New.
Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Co-op or competitive multiplayer?
Co-op.
VR, yes or no?
Sure, yeah.
Far Cry or Assassin's Creed?
I like Assassin's Creed, but I like Far Cry 2, so Assassin's Creed.
All right. Do you have a PS5?
Yeah, man.
Returnal?
Wow.
Yeah, we talked about Returnal, man, for like an hour.
Good for you.
Yeah, I know, right?
Wow.
Some people are just so oblivious.
That was it. That's the end of the questions.
Well done. You made it. Bang on time.
I'm removing this question from the next one. This is unfair.
No, you shouldn't do that. Keep the question if the person didn't answer that, didn't talk about it.
Well, the only reason why we have it in Zdeye is because Joel doesn't have one, so it's funny because Joel still doesn't have a PS5 yet, and he told us last week how he almost got one, didn't you? Were you not bidding on one or something?
I was,
and he just didn't get one. He's a bit sour, a bit salty. But Joel, your time's going to come, my friend. Just do not worry, your time will come. So I think I know you a lot better now, Elvis. Now you've taken part in that get to know your guest. So you really like. What I've gathered from that is that you really like Death Stranding to the point of you actually want a sequel. And I haven't heard anybody say they'd like a sequel on it. I haven't played the game, so it's on my list. I think it's up there somewhere to be played
somewhere.
On that though, like
what pile of games to play?
Oh, you've not played it though. We'll not spoil anything. But I'm just thinking, like, what would the premise be? Because Death Stranding, like, it ended quite closed for every character.
You played it, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because
but Lewis hasn't.
Oh, I see.
So I'm just saying, like, the ending's quite. It kind of concludes. Complete. Yeah, it's kind of a complete ending.
That's it. That's just the thing. What makes it more interesting for a sequel? What could they do? You never really be expecting. And we are talking about Hideo Kojima. Come on,
he's
insane about these stuff.
He's
probably like
his brain thinks different. It's crazy how much intelligence he's got and how creative he can truly be with storylines. It is. You're right. I suppose. No, you are right. Like it's not a bad thing to have a game start and end in one game, and then if they're going to make a sequel, make another game that starts and ends. It doesn't have to be a continuous story.
Maybe he can do what Metal Gear Solid did, and he can like go back in time,
potentially,
rather than go forward.
Why not? Yeah. They could show the catastrophe and how everything started as well, like in Death Stranding. Oh, actually,
I know the premises of what it's about. To be fair,
and it's hard to understand it too, though.
Oh yeah,
if you don't play the game. Unless if you really try to understand it. Yeah.
All right, guys. So we've just concluded our quiz for our get to know our guest. What we'll do now is we'll move on to our big topic of the day, which is recently the state of play for Ratchet and Clank came out, and we saw 10 minutes of footage for the new Ratchet and Clank? 15 minutes. 15. We're going to talk about it. What was everyone's thoughts? As our guest, what were your thoughts of the new state of play? And also, once you answered that, are you going to buy it at launch?
Okay, now what I thought about the state of play in general, state of play is state of play. Like they mainly, at least now as of date, they mainly concentrate on a specific one game. And I like that. I want them to go with that route more than they were doing it before, like, showcasing all different indie titles. Now, I'm not trying to say indie titles don't deserve like the recognition. No, I'm not saying that. I say they do deserve it, but maybe think of a different way. Okay, state of play in terms of showcasing the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I like what I saw. And I have played the rebooted.
Yeah.
What was it? The one that
the
came
remake.
out
2016-ish.
That's right. Yeah, I played that as well. I didn't get the platinum on that, by the way. But that's, yeah, I enjoyed it for the story. I can't really get into it just for platinum. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't enjoy it that much. So Rift Apart, if I will get on day one, I don't know. I feel like I need to see something more, and I need to see reviews. I'm sure it's going to do well. I'm sure of that. But I think I'm going to wait. You know what I mean?
What about you, Joel?
Well, obviously, I'm not going to get it on launch, am I? Because I'm going to go PS5. Isn't that right?
That's true, to be fair. It's redundant. Why are you even here? I might just kick you from the chat.
Yeah, I don't know. You just bring me here just to torture me. And,
yeah,
you know.
Makes for good viewing, though. Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right, viewer?
Indeed. Hey.
What are your thoughts of the trailer, then?
I liked it. Like, I really enjoyed the first game. I think the gameplay was really fun. It wasn't anything that was like, you could just like cruise through the game. You didn't have to think a lot. You didn't have to like get frustrated with it. It was just an easygoing game. It wasn't a collectathon like Spyro, but it was along the same lines of like the easy. It was fun. You had like the different weapons you could experiment with. The graphics were just amazing. All the little colors and like just the way the game was made in general. Like when you smash the box or an enemy and all those little screws just like scattered everywhere, and then they just came all rolling into you. It was just
very refined. Very refined.
And I think this one's it's following the exact same lines. Obviously, it's going to be a lot quicker. It's going to be a lot better in terms of like graphics and how it processes and stuff. I'm guessing the worlds are going to be bigger, and obviously the loading times between worlds is going to be like instant. But yeah, the story itself, it's interesting. I'm not sure if I never played the old Ratchet and Clank game, so I'm not sure if it's like a reboot again or if it's like a completely new story. The new character's interesting. Yeah, female.
Rift Apart, I believe, is a new story. I believe the rebooted one, obviously, it's not. But like Rift Apart, I think it's a new story. I might be wrong. Please don't quote me on that. So.
Yeah, I tried because I didn't want to have the story really ruined, and now I'm thinking about it, I probably should just watch it all. So I kind of just skipped a bit. I think the idea is that it's to do with Dr. Nefarious in a different reality where he's actually like a really good villain, and he's actually successful in the other worlds. It's got something to do with that. I think 2016, you're right, Joel. 2016 looked fantastic, and I think it's that cartoony graphics that's really easy to, well, not easy, but it's really well refined. And I think this looks just like that. I think it looks incredibly refined, really gorgeous at 60 FPS, and on a whole, it looks really good. Do I think it's going to be worth? Am I going to buy it at launch? I just don't know, because I just think games, for me, I think £70, €80 is a lot of bank. It's a lot of dollar, and do I want to spend £80, £70, sorry, on 25 hours, 20 hours? I don't know. That's
definitely
my only concern. So even if
definitely
it's like, because Ratchet and Clank 2016 was a 25-hour platinum, which meant it was only like a 13-hour game.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I think that's the problem with these games getting more expensive. Is do you want to spend it? Because people will play it, and if they don't go for the platinum, they're going to play it for 10 hours and it's done. And it's like, do I want to do that? That's all. That's my only concern. I know it's going to be a really refined, great Ratchet and Clank game. It's just, for me personally, is it going to be worth the full price? I don't know. Ratchet and Clank in 2016 actually came out, I think, back then my game was £50. I think it came out at 40, a little bit less. Is this going to be the same? I mean, if it's £55, that's a completely different story. That's definitely more enticing to me.
Definitely, for me too.
So I guess we'll just have to see what the price is, but I think we're all in agreement that on a whole it looks pretty darn great. There's some good weapons. I mean, I think that's part of Ratchet and Clank is introducing these fantastic weapons that are always just so different, so varying, and it just adds a lot of replayability and a lot of fun to the game, essentially.
My favourite one on the first one had to be the disco ball one.
Yeah, but the Platinum Trophy was it made the trophy so hard. Was that one trophy, wasn't there, for making everybody dance? Even the bosses. That was I liked the old school like decoy gloves. I like the classic bomb glove. I'm trying to think what else I enjoyed. The Rhino, obviously, which killed everything on screen.
I can't believe you can remember all of that. Like I played the old ones, but like I can't remember any of the names now.
I'm trying to think. I can remember a few. Do you know what I liked on the original games, which wasn't in the new one, was the Gladiator mode where you go in and there'd be like challenges where it's like, okay, survive to wave 5, you get paid 10,000 bolts. Survive to wave 10 and face a boss at the end, 20,000 bolts. There'd be like 30 challenges and you could go in them, and that's how you'd earn excessive bolts. That's how you'd buy the game. And there'd be like 3 challenge areas in the base game. I would like that to be brought back. I can't see it being brought back, but for me, that was where I have like fondest memories as a kid actually playing those challenge modes. So. I think we've spoke about that enough. To be fair, I think
there's not really much to say. I mean, it was only 15 minutes, and to be fair, like yes, it is going to be a great game, but is it really that different from the first game?
I mean, it's more of the same. If you love Ratchet and Clank, you'll love it. If you weren't a big fan, if you just thought it was okay, you'll just think it's okay again.
Yeah,
I think you're right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's more of the same, of course, so it makes sense.
Okay, what we'll do then on that is we'll move on to our Q&A section. So we have a new Q&A section where people can submit questions to us, and if we think they're good, we'll put them in the Q&A. And we've got a few questions here. We'll get through as many as we can. And these were submitted via Patreon. And the question is, the first question, which I'm going to pass around the group, is if you were the president of Sony, what would you change? What changes do you think Sony should be doing right now in terms of themselves? We're only talking about PlayStation. We're not talking about that, the movies, that TV stuff. Just if you're the president of, say, PlayStation, what would you do? Anyone have any ideas? I'll open the floor to either of you. Joel?
I'm going to go down the Donald Trump route and say, make the Platinum great again. Okay? There's too many easy games out there that devalue the Platinum. Just take away the Platinum from easy games. That's what I'm saying. Not easy games as in like AAA games, like things like that. No, I mean they leave those. I mean they're nice. They're nice to. But all these like Slide and all these like silly like 1 hour Platinums. Like come on.
I agree with that.
Stop.
I mean I think there's clearly an issue, in my opinion, of the fact that this low caliber of game that's getting released on the PlayStation, like. People can say whatever, you're not supporting indie devs, blah, 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 by being being like actively anti-indie, but I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying that there's definitely a low caliber of game coming out on the PlayStation, and we're seeing a lot of them, and I'm not anti-indie game, I'm anti-bad indie games, and the fact that Sony are allowing this absolute trash that people that could be released on a mobile phone, and then they're sticking platinum trophies on them as well.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I think realistically Sony need to, that's probably what I would do, is I think they need to review their indie games a lot more. It shouldn't just be anybody or can release games.
That's just wishful thinking, though, because like business strategy talking, this is not a viable choice. Yeah, I completely understand why they do this and why they allow it.
Yeah.
Now, you guys and myself included, of course, like we don't want to see these sort of games that is super easy to get platinum trophies as well. But in my opinion, let them do what they need to do. But I get that it devalues the trophies and all that. Maybe it's because I just don't care about me. Like I don't care about the leader scoreboard, like and stuff like that being on top. At least, I just want to play good games and actually have a good time with them. But again, with the strategy of this, how they go about it makes sense to me at least. But it sucks. It does.
That's the difference, isn't it, between having a leader that thinks about money compared to having a leader that actually thinks about the fun and the value of games.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I totally get why they do it. I think
and also Sakie.
Yeah, there's so many games that like you don't have to buy these terrible indie games just because they're out. And I see why Sony would allow it to happen. I think being more like generally in terms of AAA games and stuff. Is there anything you would try to change in terms of them? Because I personally just think I would try and create more studios that can create more exclusive games, but also. Yeah. In popular opinion, I would heavily change the way Naughty Dog's ran, because I think coming from a perspective, I know this is like, again, coming from a perspective of how poorly all the leaks came out about how poorly the workers were being treated at Naughty Dog, I would be like, well, I think some drastic changes need to be made there, because I'm so against people working 80-100 hours for not a great deal of money just to pump out a game so companies can make millions. I understand that this is like pro-consumer and anti-corporation, but that's, if I was in charge, that's what I would do. I would try and make sure that people actually have a good status level of good work balance and actually enjoy working for the companies that I run.
Fairness. Yeah. Pay them for what they give to the company. Don't just I'm going to cut costs here because, you can do the job, but I don't have to pay you this much. Well, no, it's just fairness, isn't it?
Jason Schreier, who was a very big games reporter, spoke to CD Projekt Red, which you can find the tweet. It's all over Twitter. He tweeted in that apparently he spoke to CD Projekt Red, and they said they were handing out these aren't the right figures, but around about, I think it was $3 million in bonuses to 900 employees. It's quite a good chunk of bonus. But the reality was they actually announced what they'd done later, and they'd actually given $3 million in bonuses to 8 people. So they actually, rather than give it to the developers, people who worked on the game, they just gave it to stock, just to shareholders or people on the board. And it was like they lied to a news reporter about what they were doing, and then they just changed it completely. And it's like, that's just that ain't fair. That ain't on.
No.
That's true. That's true. And also regarding that, if let's say a developer, he wants to work, let's say on Saturdays, right? If he's working there, it shouldn't be criticized or mentioned that, like, why is he working more than 40 hours a week? If this is his choice and he's getting paid for it, let him do it. I mean, sure, a lot of people still find it like, oh, he shouldn't have this, he shouldn't have to go through this. It's like, come on, this is personal people's opinions. Like, they can do whatever they need to do. And if they get more money out of it, sure, that's good. It's beneficial for them because, long run. And better for CV is also because it means that they are willing to stay longer just to make sure that they finish whatever they need to do.
Yeah, but again, it's the whole. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with forced unpaid overtime where people are working like 80 hours.
That's pretty bad. Yeah, I agree. That if you don't get paid
all over the US,
overtime, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's bad. That's pretty bad. So, what would your thing would be like? Considering what would you change, like other than this? Like, I mean, just better for the developers. And
I want to be honest. I just want more games. If I was Sony, I'd be like, let's just bang out more AA games. We don't have to have massive budgets. We don't have to make games of Last of Us level. I'm more than happy to have those as well. But let's bring back some, like, maybe bring back some mascots, and then just work on some banging out new IPs. That's kind of what I would actually want to do.
Remake the Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King game.
Yeah. We're not talking about EA though. We're not talking about being the president of Sony.
Yeah, why don't we remake The Last of Us? That's clever. Let's do it. I think that's just dumb, in my opinion. It's just,
it's not very pro-consumer, but it's very pro-business because people will buy it again. And
because the IP name.
On the talking about just putting the new faces on as well from like the TV series. I've read that.
That's right. Really? Yeah, that's right.
They're gonna like redo new, like remake it for PS5. I mean, it was a great game. Would I buy it? No. The thing is, I think the idea is that when The Witcher came out on TV, The Witcher 3 game spiked. The problem with that is millions of gamers had already played it. So although it might have spiked in sales, not enough. Whereas if a new Witcher game came out at the same time, it's literally not only would you have had 10 million people buying it who are just gamers who love the series, you would have had 5 to 6 million people who watched the TV series and loved it. So I think they're just thinking, if we're going to make a TV series, the popularity for this game is going to shoot up. We might as well release a new game. I'd rather just did like a spin-off, personally. Like, something set between Last of Us 1 and 2, or a prequel with Tommy or something like that. But not just a remake, but a remaster. But here we are. Mm-hmm. It's just the thing about remake is, I suppose, is a remaster is just a cash-in. We know it's a cash-in, whereas if they were actually to make a new story, we know they actually care about the series, whereas this to me kind of feels like they just don't care. They just want.
So it's a remake. It's a remaster.
I don't know what it's going to be. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it's been confirmed yet.
No. That's obviously not confirmed. No, but like the thing, it's going to be a remake, not remaster. A remake.
Ah, okay. I still think it's too soon though.
Oh yeah, definitely. It is too soon. That's why I think it's stupid to do it. Like, and plus the story, it holds up well. We have a remaster too.
Yeah, well, it was already a remaster. That's the thing.
I mean, I get why, but it's just I don't want it. I'd rather Naughty Dog to concentrate on a brand new IP or something that they feel confident about, something that they want to do it. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I completely agree with that. I think Naughty Dog is a great studio, so I'm not saying that I don't think they're a great studio. I was saying that I didn't appreciate how some of the employees are being treated, but on a whole, they make good games. And I feel like it's a bit of a shame if you got half the studio working on the Last of Us remake when they could be working on a new IP, or even another Uncharted game. I think Nathan Drake's story's finished. I like it to stay finished, but
there's so much potential though. They could carry on with Chloe and
Nadine.
The girl's name, Nadine. Chloe Nadine. The Lost Legacy was
brilliant.
That's right.
Was amazing.
Yeah,
they could do something with their kid. with Nathan Drake's kid.
Yeah.
They could do something with his brother. There's so many paths.
He kind of did actually with his brother.
Sam didn't go down too well. I think a lot of people actually didn't, because it's a whole thing of like the criticism of Sam was movies have this issue where a lot of movies will just bring in a family member, and if they bring in a family member, they don't have to develop a relationship because it's already there because they're family. And I think that's kind of what they did with Sam. It's, I've got this brother who's a long lost brother, or we're best friends because we're brothers. You didn't know this, but sort of thing. I think a lot of people didn't like the fact that there wasn't like they didn't build up a genuine relationship like Nathan did with
Sully.
Not Sully, his wife. Mind blank. Elena. And there's less of Sully. Come on.
No,
Sully wasn't in it that much. He's getting old though.
He's old, yeah. You can't really picture like a dude that age like jumping around in cliffs and doing all these mad stunts and stuff.
What about a prequel?
Well, they all went on the film, aren't they?
Concentrate on Sully.
Yeah, well, they kind of do a prequel though. Is it Uncharted 3 which has the flashbacks? Is it Uncharted 4?
No, it's got the kids as well.
Oh yeah, 3 and 4 both have flashbacks.
3-1 is the one that's a younger Nathan.
With when he meets
Sully for the first time. Yeah, that's 3. That's
yeah.
So it just kind of addressing that. But yeah, you're right. I feel like Last of Us kind of just make more games. I think it's this thing with Naughty Dog now is they've got these two amazingly well-known IPs in the form of The Last of Us and Uncharted. So it's kind of like if we make a new game, is it going to sell as well? And that's a problem big companies have. They just to feel like they don't want to risk it by stepping away from that established brands. Yeah, I can see why, but also it's like, come on, man, give the people what they want. More games.
Definitely.
On that then.
Yeah.
We'll move on to our last question. We only have time for this last question.
Sure.
And the question is actually quite a personal one to us all. Is what do you think's more time consuming? Gaming/trophy hunting or making YouTube content?
For me, this is easy because it's trophy hunting for me. Because remember, I touched on at the beginning of the podcast, that I consider YouTube as a hobby. So I don't have to take all the time that I need to make it something perfect. You know what I mean?
But you do spend so much time on your videos, clearly. Like those 20-minute videos, I watch them and I think you've easily spent 7, 8, 9, 10 hours on just the editing alone for that.
Yeah, gathering clips, music choosing, and then script writing, then recording, getting that perfectly done, then polished, then editing, then gathering clips into that edit into the Vegas.
A lot goes into editing.
The editing is extremely time consuming, that's for sure. And on top of that, I don't just put them over the clips that I talk about. I make a little montages too, like whenever I want to make it like introduction to something. Yeah, I make it too much. No, but still for me, it will be trophy hunting. Still, it will be longer. Remember, trophy hunting takes hundreds of hours to particular games.
Yes. What about you, Joel?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go on. Finish
go
I just want to say YouTube thing takes like you said, 7 to 8 hours. Games can take up to 100 hours. That's it. That's what I want to mention anyway.
What would you say though on the normal week? What do you spend more time doing?
Like I said, I can't say that because it's not like I have to do it. You know what I mean?
True.
It could be different at any time. It could be more. It could be less. Right. Last month, I didn't do any of these sorts of special videos that you've seen my like very heavily edited and stuff like that. But now I'm putting a lot more time into it because I have more time, and plus I want to do it because it's interesting, at least to me, and I have fun with it. Basically, going with a Days Gone. The next video I'm going to be coming out one, and oh God, I made so many already and I keep forgetting. Typical, isn't it? And anyway, basically, Ghost of Tsushima is an example too. Like, love that game. Oh yeah, what are you doing?
I don't know.
What are you doing? We're meant to play Legends modes together. What are you waiting for? It's still waiting.
It's up there.
Oh good.
It's just there. It's on my next couple of games.
Platinuming that game was so much fun, and getting the DLC, not DLC, but the Legends trophies. Oh, actually, there is a DLC. There's like a new game plus mode you have to replay again. Man, that was so much fun.
I'm gonna play it.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I ask myself that every
day. Stop this podcast. Turn on your Ghost of Tsushima and play it now.
Install it.
It's installed. It's already installed.
What are you doing?
It's already what the hell?
It's just I've got so many games I want to play now. It's going to be. I think it's going to be.
Nothing matters except Ghost of Tsushima.
It's going to be my next couple of games.
Stop talking. Play.
Oh man. What about you then, Joel?
I'd definitely say YouTube's a lot more time consuming. A lot more.
Oh! I've seen your video of Persona 1, the Persona 5
My
guide.
God.
That took a good
No, thank you.
month. Yeah.
I'd never do something like that. That's just way too time consuming. Okay, that is far more time consuming for you, dude.
It just depends. Like I'm very like undecisive with my videos. Like the way I usually do it is I'll write myself what I need to say, and I'll do it on my phone. And like say I take like 3 days to record. Every day I'll think of something new and I'll add it and change it. And then when I do record, then I think I don't really like that, so I'll change it again. So the whole recording process takes an eternity. Then the editing process takes an eternity as well, because I like doing all these fancy like transitions and little clips here and there. And then if I'm not happy with it, I'll leave it aside and then I'll work on something else. And the thing is, like, all of this together, like all the time I take, it kind of takes away from the gaming. Like I remember you saying on a couple of podcasts ago, someone asked, "What the hell is wrong with GuyFarruski? He's not earned a trophy in like a month."
Someone actually, someone commented on one of my videos being like, "GuyFarruski hasn't earned a trophy in like a month. Is he okay?" These guys should edit YouTube videos.
Yeah, this is why. But I think a lot of it is because over here the lockdown. It's not been a severe lockdown, so I've had to leave the house for 40 hours a week to go to my job. I think if I was working from home, I would probably game a lot more because I wouldn't have to, because I'd be here, I'd be in the house.
Yeah,
I think that's probably what it comes down to. I think
it's pretty awesome to be able to game on your lunch. I have to say that's been like the pro of lockdown has been like, okay, lunchtime, game time.
Yeah.
Whereas like before that, I would never ever been able to do that.
Yeah,
I would say that
makes sense.
It's hard for me. I think YouTube is really time consuming. I think I would probably say most of my videos take like 6 to 8 hours to make, and I usually make 3 hours or 3 a week. But I find that as I make, everything changes. This is the thing, like, you know, whenever you do something as a hobby, and the more you do things change and evolve. And I'm finding that the more that I'm making videos, the more I want them to be better, and that the more I'm rewatching stuff, and I'm thinking like, do I want to joke in here? Do I want to joke? And then I'm spending more time in the pre-production, I would say, process than I ever have been. Especially like when I'm trying to I want to start doing a bit more scripted stuff, which initially I made scripted stuff, and I found that I'm okay at casually talking, like in a podcast and a video setting. I can talk for like a couple of minutes, but I find that sometimes I'm a bit incoherent. And now I'm thinking that I want to go back a bit, and I think it's just this. It's like what Joel said, like what you said. It's like going through the process of making a YouTube video, like planning it out and then changing stuff, and it can be quite time consuming. And I'll probably go to say I don't game 20 hours a week most weeks unless, you know, something happens. I just got a free weekend. If I game, I probably say I game like 10 to 12 hours on a weekend. If I do, well, maybe not that much, maybe like 2, 3, 4 or 5 hours maybe each day if I have the time. And if I don't have time those days, I game even less. Whereas YouTube is definitely quite a commitment as well. Like I'm definitely a hobbyist. I mean, we all are. And I definitely love making YouTube videos. I think you get a great sense of achievement. Like when I've rewatched my Remnant video about 4 times because
that's good.
I'm actually proud of it because I did a bit of scripture in it.
Exactly.
And I actually I rewatched stuff as well to say, because I was speaking to Josh who was on the podcast last week, and I've been bouncing a lot of ideas off him, with Joel has as well, and you know he's just saying like watch your videos, and it's a point when, you know, your concentration is dropping, you know, making sure you're writing that down, why is that happening, and trying to think of ways to keep people engaged and stuff. So it's quite a complicated process. And as a YouTuber, you're a one-man band. So like you are your marketer, you are your editor, you are your script writer, you are your own reviewer. Yes, we and Joel bounce so much off each other all the time. But even still, you know, we're not professionals. So he might say something and I might say something, and we're not even sure if what we're saying's right.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would say I spend more time on YouTube than gaming. But I could easily be the other way if I wanted to. Sometimes I don't want to make YouTube videos. Sometimes I just game. But I definitely enjoy making YouTube videos.
Actually, talking about that, do you have like a particular schedule when you upload your videos?
I do.
I try to upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
That explains a lot. A lot. I don't have that. So this is why that's why I say that gaming for me Platinum. It takes more time for me. That because I don't have a schedule. Because like once I can just like leave for a week and not do any YouTube videos.
Oh, like a schedule, like an upload schedule on the channel.
That's right.
Oh no, that I don't have. I've got like a schedule of like a task list of what I usually do, like a certain thing, but I don't have like a schedule on the channel. I thought about getting one, but then I thought it's too. First of all, if you have a schedule, yes, it's good for the algorithm. It's good for people because they have the regular videos, but it also makes it more like a job because you have to have it. You have to pressure yourself to get it ready on that day. And sometimes you just don't have the time, especially for like a lot of editing. A video that takes a lot of editing, sometimes you take more time editing than what you expect. Or things in life, they just pop up. And so I think a schedule is good and it's bad at the same time because it kind of restricts you to you have to reach that threshold all the time.
I 100% agree with that, Joe. I think there's definitely some really good pros and some really good cons. I think I say I have a soft schedule. If something comes up, sometimes I get really busy at work, and I just haven't got the time, or I've got to do something like do errands or something. But I think having consistency across a schedule, it means that algorithm's really good. It can motivate you. When you've got that little bit of pressure, you've got to get something done. It can really help you to perform. But I think for me, the biggest con is that it definitely limits creativity. I think that when you've only got you've only got 10 hours to make a video, you can't be as creative as if you knew you had a week to do it, because you can't go back to the drawing board as much. Whereas if you've got ample time, you can, I don't like that, scrap it. But if you're 4 hours into a project and you've only got now 6 hours, you kind of have to see it through. I think that can be a bit of an issue with it. We're going off on tangents here, but we're just talking about what it's actually like to make YouTube videos. And for somebody who's watching this and maybe thinks, do you want to start? Do you not want to start? Or just you want to know what the process is of us all making YouTube videos. This is kind of how it works.
I think first of all, personally, in my opinion, all three of us have got good channels. But I think first of all, before you do start a channel, is you have to take the step and you have to think, do I just want a YouTube channel or do I want a good YouTube channel? Because if you want a good YouTube channel, it's massively time consuming. If you just want a channel where you just want to log your gameplay or log like moments and stuff, then I mean, you could really, anybody could do that. You could upload a video and it's always there, like your own personal library, and then other people, if they like it, they can like and comment on whatever. But if you want like something like a YouTube channel that, is going to continuously grow and is going to be a good channel, then it takes time. First of all, you have to think of a catchy name. There's so many names out there now. Second of all, you have to think of yourself of like more or less a brand.
Just so we all know, the reason why Joel's saying that is that because it took him like 5 weeks to think of a name for his podcast. So we've got Elvis. We've started an anime podcast about 6 weeks ago. Joel's editing the second episode, so it's not in a schedule. We're just watching an anime. Then me, Joel, and our friend Steve are all talking about it. And literally, it took Joel about 6 weeks to think of this name for his podcast. He just could not decide, and we're giving him like 10. Honestly, I was speaking to my partner. I was like, "Joel can't think of names. Can we think of any?" And and he just couldn't decide. It was so clearly that is the hardest part of YouTube, is finding your name, isn't it, Joel?
It is. Well, yeah, it is. It is. It has to be unique.
I should actually join your anime podcast. We could I'm a big fan of anime, so
yeah,
we're always looking for guests.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
I watched a lot of them too, like new stuff as well that came out recently and stuff, like everything to anything.
So on that, if you could we'll wrap things up with one final thing. Is if you could say give some advice, one bit of advice to someone who wants to start YouTube or is thinking about it, what would it be? I'll start. I haven't thought of anything. I'm totally winging this. Kind of two is I'll just say just when you start with, try and make short content. Content that's like less than 7 to 8 minutes. Concise content, because when you're a new person, people don't want to invest 10, 20, 30 minutes on your content because they don't know you. They want to keep it short and snappy. That would be my advice. If I only give one bit of advice.
That's a good one.
What about you?
Be mentally prepared is the main one. I think, for me especially, I think not just for like, snarky comments that you get every now and then, but also for like, in the beginning, it is very hard. You're very, very rarely going to just blow up as soon as you start uploading. You're gonna get to a point where you're uploading, 10, 20, 30, 40 videos and you see no growth whatsoever. So be prepared for that. It's normal for everybody. It takes time for you to start getting that momentum. But once you do get momentum, then it gets a lot better.
The first 100 subscribers is the hardest part of having a YouTube channel. It's so difficult to get 100 subscribers. And then the first 1,000 is is a little bit less hard, but still incredibly harder. Well, not harder, but it's incredibly hard just as well. What about you, Zdeye? Any advice for someone who want to start with?
I do have two. Like, being consistent is obvious, because like I've seen a lot of times already. Just basically, there's a guy, he uploads once a week, and that's fine. There's consistency because he does upload once a week. There's yet another person that uploads every day. Sure, maybe his content is like a top tier quality, but it's fine as long as it's entertaining for somebody to watch and listen to. And there's also moments, for example, this particular guy is just has videos every day, once a week, whatever. Then he disappears for 4 months. What? It's like, this is I don't like that, in my opinion, doing this to myself, and I don't like watching some people do this too. Like, right, I'm subscribed to somebody and they disappear for 4 months, and it's like, dude, come on, I like your stuff, and so you gotta bring it back. And so you end up unsubscribing because you forget about them, and it's not a good thing.
I agree.
Now,
and also,
I'm so guilty of that.
No,
the thing is,
I really am.
You shouldn't do it.
I know I shouldn't, but sometimes I just can't help it.
I wasn't even aiming at you at this. I seriously was not aiming at you.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, thinking of it now, like when I did the Persona 5 video, for example, like I disappeared for a month. Like, people literally messaging me like, have you quit?
That's too long.
I think you find as well is that when you're absent for a long period of time, like 2, 3, 4 months, you are basically starting again when you start again, because you're out. Bear in mind,
that's true.
Subscribers don't see all your content because of the way the algorithm works. YouTube suggests what they think they will want to watch, and if they watch 50 videos a day, 10 videos a day, and you haven't posted for 3 months, that means they've watched 200, 300 videos, and by the time you make videos again, that your content just is not going to be suggested through the algorithm to your old subscribers. So you are starting again. And I've seen channels who were getting like 5, 6, 7,000 views a video, not posted 2 months, and then start reposting again, and they're getting 1,000 views. And you think that's an example? Like they've lost a lot of their viewership through inactivity, in infrequency. So good advice. Good advice,
Yeah, it's just that remember I said I have two. So the second one was just being, like you said, being ready for anything, because there could be some moments one video could blow up and you consider that video to be shitty. Seriously, it happened to me a lot. Like, for example, my God of War Japanese trailer, it got more than 2 million views, and I was shocked. I don't know how this YouTube thing algorithm blew up for me. And thank you, but
thank you.
Still, that video I consider was bad. And then I had to do some kind of editing and magic tricks and shit like that. Basically, just some way I could actually make it less bad. And I'm just so embarrassed by it. And because one particular video did so well and our commentary was so bad. Like, it's just so bad. You see what I mean? Be ready for anything. Yeah. Now, this is important as well. If you put a lot of time and effort into your video, for example, you had like a Persona 5 guide, or for example, you had a Remnant like review that you put out, you have to be ready for like these videos not doing well. It really is a possibility, because like I put a lot of time in my special videos, like you've seen as well, like with a lot of time in editing, they don't even reach 100 views, and it is very, just demotivating. You know what I mean? And it's just like oh man, do I want to continue this? Maybe I will need to change something, and if you change it too much, people are not going to be expecting it. Perhaps that's why they're going to leave, because they don't want change. Man, there's always something that you can really make some things worse.
YouTube is crazy. I think the point that I'm taking from that is that you can only control so much of your YouTube journey, and unfortunately 90-95% of it is controlled by YouTube and the viewership and stuff, and you've got to be ready for that, and you've got to be okay with not having the control and knowing that some things will do well, some things won't do well. I've had a few videos hit like 10,000 views now, like 6 months after posting them. So it's like, as well, some videos will start off bad, 200, 300 views or 150 views, and then over time they'll get a bit of traction. So maybe don't always worry about the first 24 hours. I get guilty of that. I'll watch something and I'll be looking at going, it's not doing that well, but it's part of the parcel. It is part of being on YouTube. So just have fun with it, enjoy the journey. There's no end goal in sight for YouTube, unfortunately.
That's the main thing.
Okay, I think we'll wrap things up. It's been a good podcast. So Zdeye, where can people find you? Are you on any social medias?
Yeah, I am on Twitter, YouTube. Mostly that's where I'm at. Zdeye. Yeah. I'm sure you can leave the links
I will
below.
definitely be leaving the links down below for Zedeye's channel, of course for GuyFarruski's channel. So if you want to watch some video game retrospectives or be up to date with gaming news, Zedeye's the channel I tend to refer to go watch. Good channel. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming on as well. We really appreciate your time. And on that, we'll say goodbye to our viewers. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.